Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. So, today on the table in front of us, that was my dog you just heard walk up. Hi, baby. We have the QSP Harpyie. Now, QSP has been around for a while. They do some OEM work. They make a whole ton of knives. Some of them are not my thing, and some of them are. And this one, well, it just really is. It is beautiful. It is comfortable. It is S35VN running on bearings. It is carbon fiber and G10. It has steel liners. It has a very nice pocket clip that is not deep carry, but it is still a really nice clip. It has a lanyard hole. It is interesting to look at. And I got to tell you, the fit and finish on this knife is, well, just very exceptional. I really, really enjoy it. The line between the G10 here and the carbon fiber is flawless. So what do you get? Well, as I mentioned, it is S35VN. You get 4 inches of S35VN on 3 3/4 inches of cutting. The grip area from just behind the swell is 4 full inches of grip. It does have a recurve, and I know some people don't really enjoy that, but you know, when the S35VN or any steel is done well, it isn't that much of an issue. This thing holds an edge like crazy. I've been carrying it for about a week. I have used it, of course, in lockdown, as we all are, but I have cut materials with it and done various tasks with it, and it has remained hair-popping sharp, which is very nice, considering this came from our pass-around group, the Apex pass-around group. It has been through a lot of hands, and it is still very, very sharp. Now, it is a liner lock, as you can see, and there's some wonderful milling on the liner, some jimping right there, that allows you to get your hands on this thing very easily. It opens and closes exceptionally smoothly. It has, when one goes to show off and it doesn't work. Anyway, in this blacked out part of the blade right here, there is a fuller that runs all the way up here to this end. It's not just paint. There's actually a fuller in there. And that means that you can flick this thing open using the fuller. Of course, you can open it with the flipper tab. It does not fail. Well, let's see if we can get it to fail. Oh, yeah, if you try really hard. So we're going to call the detent, out of 10, we're going to call the detent probably a 5. It could be a little stiffer. I very much like the pivot on this knife. I think it's attractive. Of course, it is a T8 on the back here. The screws are T6. It has a G10 backspacer. The overall knife in length is 8.5 inches long. So it is a nice size. It is not a particularly lightweight knife because it is just over a 1/2 inch thick. Well, we'll go ahead and measure that out in a minute. Let's do some size comparisons so we know what we're talking about. There it is against our dear friend, the bug out. As you can see, it is considerably larger than the bug out. And if we put it up against the Rat Model 1, I think we will discover that it is very similar in size. In fact, identical in size to the Rat Model 1, but you get a little more cutting surface. You get a lot more quality of blade steel. I'm not a huge AUS 8 fan, of course. I like QSP. I like the people at QSP too. Our friend Blade Banter from the Pass Around group, who runs a very, very excellent channel, is an American contact for them. And so he tends to bring these in. They have stepped their game up, QSP, in the last couple of years, year and a half, really, very, very powerfully. They went from making what I think of as some kind of funky budget knives to a series of really nice higher-end knives, this being one of those. Let's go ahead and weigh it out so we know what we're looking at. No, let's try that again. There we go. So 4.6 ounces. Like I said, this is not a lightweight knife. But it does fill the pocket very well. The G10 and the carbon fiber are shaped and milled in such a way that when it's open, it's very comfortable. Really, it really is. This is a marvelous work tool. I really have enjoyed having it around. Let's go ahead and get some specs on the blade. We'll do the handle first. Now, through its thickest point, this is kind of a chunker. It is over 1/2 inch at 0.581 inches at its thickest point. Yep. If we go ahead and bump this over to millimeters and 0 it, because that would make sense. The blade stock itself is only 2.7 millimeters thick, which means even though it has this kind of sabery grind, right? It has a like flat here and then it comes down. It's still reasonably thin behind the edge. It's not a razor blade. Let's not be confused. But as a work tool and a stylish work tool, it is very good at what it does, and it cuts very, very well. Now, one of the things that I have come to really enjoy about a recurve, I know a lot of people don't like them. They are harder to sharpen and to keep sharp, but is that when you're working with a blade that's got a recurve like this, when you push into medium that you're cutting, into the media that you're cutting, this recurve tends to keep the material from coming all the way back, right, to this end, which is very, very nice, which means when you push this thing into the material, especially push cuts, this holds it in place. And if you're doing draw cuts and you can get deep enough, it will also hold it there. It gives you a little bit of belly towards the front. So when you're pull cutting, it doesn't want to pop out or go too much deeper. It is, in the end, a very, very useful blade shape, and one that I have come to very much appreciate. This one happens to be very pointy, so if you are, you know, into this sort of thing, the hammer grip use is very good too. It is a very stabby knife. So what do I think in the end? Well, I think that QSP has brought themselves to a new place in the market. I think that QSP is showing you, me, and anyone who's willing to take a look, with this level of production quality, that they can be a really powerful competitor in the, let's call it, mid-weight knife market, in the couple of $100 range. Now, they do make excellent budget knives too. This is not one of those. If you're looking for an interesting knife with a lot of style that doesn't give up its pure functionality, then the QSP Harpyie is an excellent way to go. Is it my knife? No. No, in the end, this is going to go on to the back into the pass around group, and other people will enjoy it. I don't particularly like DLC coatings, although I do have some knives where I love it. I know, I'm fickle. It's not my favorite thing, so I wouldn't choose to buy this knife in this particular layout, but you might. And if you buy one because you like the way it looks, I can pretty much assure you that you're going to like the way that it feels, the way that it's built, and the way that it cuts. And we're going to go ahead and wrap that up at this point. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the QSP Harpyie. I, of course, have been a Therapeutic Edge. If you have any questions about the Harpyie or, any of the knives on my channel, feel free to ask down in the comments below. We'll see you next time.